Hello, dear friends, and welcome to the International Fab Talks. Thank you for being a part of our journey. And why do we have the Fab Talks in the first place? To inspire people, for people to overcome all their challenges. There are several people who are not okay in their thought process, the way they believe that life has to be for them. They are on the negative side of life. But we have several people across the world who have overcome all their challenges and are strong. And they are here with us sharing their story of how they've overcome the challenges in spite of the several failures, the downfalls that they've had. They did not give up on their life. Life is a gift, my friends. You have to really live this beautiful life. And how will you live it facing all your challenges? And how will you learn all
Thank
of
you.
that?
First, I have to thank you for this nice opportunity.
Thank
I
you.
really deem it to be a honor to be talking with you today. Actually, I like to chat with people, and I also think this will be just getting out my feelings. And my friends also told me that you will be able to get out everything. So I'm just waiting for the question.
How sweet of you. Thank you very much, sir. So here you have our guest, our celebrity is there right in front of you, my friends. He is Mr. Dean. Actually, he's lovingly called like that by his friends and his well-wishers, Mr. Dean. But actually, his real name is, my dear friends, I share his name. He is Mr. Tiruvarur Abdul Ghani Munawardeen. Lovely, with love, he's called as Dean. And he's a retired professor. Presently, he is the administrator at Exnora International Foundation. And people love him for who he is because he's that person who you could connect with and bond with. He's a person with lots of experience. And my dear friends, when you meet people with experience, you will gain a lot. Instead of you doing all those mistakes, you could learn from those people who have already been through the process and they are safeguarding you. They are giving you the right kind of suggestions in life. So here, let's
Will
go.
it be okay if I put my earphone on?
Yes, please, sir. You could go ahead, please, sir. Yes, sir. Dear friends, I'd like to share the profile of our special celebrity and guest. He is Mr. Dean, as I earlier mentioned. He's completed his MA in English Literature, M.B.A. and M.Phil also. And he had a beautiful professional journey in different fields. He commenced his career in the U.A.E. as a quality control supervisor at a cola factory between these years, 1978 to 1984. Upon returning to India, he dedicated his substantial time to integrated farming. When I say integrated farming, it is poultry, dairy, fish, that's also into that, fisheries, I guess, maybe agriculture, all of that. Successfully operated a pharmaceutical distribution firm as well. But as we all face setbacks, sir also faced a setback due to a natural disaster, prompting a shift to manufacturing and marketing pharmaceutical products. Again, there faced several challenges, but bounced back again. After facing a lot of challenge and substantial losses in marketing, that led him to take a beautiful path, leading into a transition in the field of education. And subsequently, sir secured a beautiful position at Asmara University, Eritrea, if I'm getting that right, Eritrea, Northeastern Africa, where he served as the head of the English department. My dear friends, this is what I want all of you to learn. If you're not successful in one field, you could try another one. You could try another one. Don't give up on life. You will succeed. Keep the journey going till the last breath, because our death is written in the hands of the Lord. We don't need to take our lives. We don't need to spoil our thoughts. Let's be pure and with our thoughts and our deeds as well, and overcome all the challenges like our special celebrity. So after facing a lot of challenges, and I said as substantial losses in marketing, he took a beautiful journey entering into the field of education. Subsequently, he became the head of the department, that is the English department, and served over there since 2009 to 2021. Post-retirement, sir is now a very busy volunteer, actively involved in a beautiful foundation called as the Exnora Foundation, which concentrates on building a beautiful environment and inspiring people and creating positivity around. They fight for a beautiful balance in the society. They stand up for a great cause. So sir is here actively involved in this beautiful administration part and the financial control of Exnora. And here we have an Exnorian with us who's going to share his journey. We're going to learn a lot, my friends. So join me and have fun. And at the same time, you have to learn. Life is both fun, learning, and as well as sharing it with others too. So let's get to know about our special celebrity. Dear sir, Dean sir,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that comment.
வணக்கம் சார். ரொம்ப நன்றி சார். நீங்க வந்துட்டு நம்ம Fabtalks invitation accept பண்ணிருக்கீங்க. Thank you very much.
I should thank you for the nice opportunity. This is and after joining Exnora, I try to propagate whatever we are doing, trying to make Exnora more visible wherever possible.
Very true.
So this is a nice opportunity for me.
Very true, sir.
So,
Thank you so much. Thank you for being humble. What I love about all the Exnorians and what I love about the people across the world, there is something in them that is being polite, being understanding, being kind to themselves, to others, and to nature as well. There are several people who have ego. And when you have ego, my friends, that's going to crash you down very soon. But if you want to be a success in life, you have to give up ego and follow a beautiful life. Sir, how would you define yourself? Who is the real Dean, sir? The Dean Saab.
Yeah, this question I always ask myself, but I would like to define myself as a person who's passionate about nature and who thinks that nature is God, because I'm an agnostic who doesn't believe in any organized religion, but I still feel that there is some sort of what to say, nature keeps paying back or paying for the good deeds. Some sort of justice is being performed by the nature, and people, they call it God. Sometimes but for me, as an agnostic, nature is everything, because that sustains us, that gives us everything to survive, and we need to take care of it. So I'm a person who would be, I would love to define myself as a person who wants to protect nature, to give it back to our generation, because everything we have taken from it. So we want to protect it, nurture it, and give it back to make this place a better place to live for all. For all, I feel everyone has the right to enjoy everything that nature provides. And nature provides, like whether it is fun or anything, they don't discriminate at all. So we human beings also need to learn it from nature, that we shouldn't discriminate, whether it be religion or caste or nation. Nothing can divide us. It is just humanity that is to be. So I could be proud of myself to be the way I am, though I would love everyone to be like me. So loving myself makes me love others also.
Perfect, perfect, sir. And we love you the way you are. And yes, we need role models like these, my dear friends. Sir, you're connected to nature and you believe that humanity is the biggest religion and love is the universal language. As I always say this on the International Fab Talks, we have one living legend here in front of us who believes that we all are one. And Mother Nature is there without any discrimination. She gives herself to everyone. So everyone have the gift of nature, and we should take care of it and not only enjoy ourselves. We should be conscious enough, as according to our guest, a celebrity, that is Dean sir. He says, yes, we've enjoyed nature ourselves, but let us hand it over to the younger generation in a better way, maybe, or maybe the way we received it, let us give it to the younger generation. Let them also enjoy. Let us not be selfish and destroy the environment. So that's the clear message which I get from you, sir. That's really nice. And I feel each one of us should say that we are proud about ourselves, that yes, we accept everyone. There is no discrimination on caste, class, creed, or maybe the country or geographical location you belong to. It's pure human love, human kindness. Yes, sir. Hats off to you for that beautiful start. Yes.
And you have put it more beautifully than I was able to do it. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you, sir. That's really nice. That's very nice, sir. You shared everything so well. And I would like people to be like you. Actually, the universe needs more people like Dean, sir. You have to change your thought pattern and not be enclosed into your own shell, thinking that it is only you, your family, your community, your country. Let's think on broader terms and spread our wings across the globe with love and care. Wonderful, sir. Dear sir, what inspired you to give your attention towards nature? Which was the turning point in your life that, yes, this is the time I have to contribute to nature? I understand that nature is the major source or the major giver in our lives, the contributor.
Basically, I belong to a family which had lived on income from agriculture. All my family were agriculturists who had sustained all our education. Everything was supported from agriculture. Whatever we have now, the privilege we have enjoyed, is all from the land. And people work for us. As my late dad always used to say, that we are partners with the people who work for us. Agriculture needs a lot of human labor. And my dad always used to say, we are only investing partners. They are the real working partners. So you have to take care of them. And I took this bird till my last day. I enjoyed doing my farming. Unfortunately for that disaster, natural disaster, so blew away my farm, a cyclone, I would have been a happy farmer. But anyway, I don't regret that also, because it took me into a different place where I could inspire a lot of students, especially when I was teaching in Africa. I was able to inspire, and I could see the change in the students whom I was teaching. And I thought, maybe I lost there to be here, to inspire children to be better, to know about themselves. And they loved me, and I loved them unconditionally. It was a beautiful experience teaching there. I thought this loss was destined to make me a better person, to inspire more people. And I really enjoyed those 13, 14 years which I was. And it was a beautiful country. People there were so lovable, the students especially. You give little to them, the love you receive from them it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. They had so much of gratitude. If only all of us can have such gratitude to what we enjoy, the privileges we enjoy, this world would be a better place.
Very true, sir. Very true. Very nicely shared. Like when you connect with students, you get a lot from them. You get a lot of pure love. It's genuine love. There's nothing like behind, there's something in their mind. They just connect with you, very directly, and it's very pure. As I can understand as an academician myself, I could understand how much of pleasure and immense happiness you'd have got when you connected with them. That's really nice. And even you really say the country also is such a beautiful country, and the people over there and the students as well. And dear sir, when one door closes, another door opens. So that's when the cyclone affected your farming or your agricultural journey as a farmer. Then maybe you had a beautiful calling elsewhere, and that was really fulfilled. Maybe the children really needed a person like you there, and so God placed you at the right place.
Yeah, I also think I was destined to go there to make life better. And I also enjoyed, and I learned a lot from them. I learned to be humble. They really made me feel humble before them. All the humility I could get, because they were younger people, and when I went there, I was almost in my mid-50s. But I learned quite a lot from them. And I turned out to be a better person learning from those young children. Especially, I learned to love people unconditionally.
That's really nice. Learning from the youngsters, they also have a lot of beautiful things within them. And yes, when you learn from students or the youngsters, it's really a blessing for us as well. As we grow old, we are not a complete whole. We always should be learning and upgrading our skills. And if any youngster is there out with some good message or has a good lesson to teach us too, we should be accepting. As sir said, he has learned to be humble. Yes, that's really nice, sir. So I have a question in my mind. let's come back to the agricultural sector. What was that cyclone that affected the farming part and the agricultural sector? Were you the only one who was affected by this, or the other farmers too?
No, many, many. In fact,
Which
you see,
years?
this was the first cyclone was when I started it in 1977, long back. It was a devastating cyclone which blew away everything. We had a huge hatchery, broiler hatchery. In fact, we were the first in the whole of Tamil Nadu to come out broiler hatchery. And everything, it just in one evening, one day changed the whole thing, blew out. We had a dairy farm, we had a fishery, we had even a goat farm, and poultry was the main. And apart from it, we had a lot of agriculture lands also. We were a joint family. We were quite a big family. I come from a family, almost 30 people lived together in one home. So we used to. So there, my love for nature started, even as a young person, understanding that everything comes from nature. Nothing. You can't produce water. You can't produce food without that water and the sunlight. Everything. We just work. That's all. We are only catalysts. Everything comes from nature. So my love for nature started very, very young, because our life was as a result of the productivity we got from the land and from the livestock. So naturally, I was a lover of nature.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for sharing that. Thank you very much. Could you name the cyclone? Because certain cyclones are given some name. Like if you remember the name of the cyclone, if you could recollect.
77 cyclone, I don't remember, but this one in the 98, I don't remember the exact name. Like the recent ones, Gaja. I think my memory, I don't have such a good memory.
Yes. We'll
But
research for it.
It was in 1997. And our delta area, I come from Tamil Nadu, belonging to a delta area, where cyclones are frequent. Every 3 or 4 years, it comes, but not as devastating as the one which I had faced, but it used to come. But now, in recent times, maybe it is due to the climate change thing, it's happening frequently, more frequent. It's not only in India, everywhere. You can see even Japan now is facing the big tsunami. And this tsunami, which we faced, was in 2002. You would have known about that tsunami.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wiped out many districts also. So it was a tsunami. I don't know the name of that. Do you remember that 2002 tsunami? The name for it?
It was called as the tsunami, I guess, sir.
Tsunami, it's called.
Yes, it's just called as the tsunami.
Tsunami.
It was a new term for us at that time. Like
Yeah, it was new.
it
And it was really horrible. It was devastating. I could see people. See, the next day when we went to a nearby place, Vailangani, we could see bodies just in the sand. People were lifting up those bodies. And it happened in a few minutes, not even minutes, I would say seconds, that just blew away. It was, and our loss was only mostly material, but many of our workers lost their lives also, their houses, their cattle, what was their whole property. See, I had education, I had choices to me. I could go do business, I had all that privilege. But those people, it was really pathetic. They had nothing else to lean on and to rebuild life. And then I realized how 95% of people in this world want to help, that empathy, everyone. And that tsunami proved, I could see people coming from Punjab, coming from, in fact, I kept my house open for doctors who had come there to serve the people from Punjab. And I couldn't provide them with proper cot, bedding, just put a mat, gave them some blankets and a pillow or two, that's all. And doctors, they were all highly educated doctors, selflessly eating that simple food which I was providing, was serving. And my faith in humanity, if not for things like religion, caste, and this class and other things, basically we human beings are really, we should be proud of ourselves. Very few people corrupt this. You just think about it. Maybe 1% or 2%. So as a whole, we should be proud of ourselves as human beings. And the tsunami taught me that. People from, it came like anything. See, you see, we were collecting old clothes for the people. But we couldn't use that old clothes because it was pouring. Textile was coming from every nook and corner of India. So you could see that people wanted to share and care, that empathy. So that gave me a lot of faith. That's why when I faced failures, I was never desperate. I thought, this is nothing. When you see people losing everything and then getting up and helping others, this loss, this material loss, nothing. And we have advantages which they don't have. So I always used to think, even now, we are privileged people. So we need to be more empathetic with have-nots. And now, it is getting quite dangerous now. The gap between the, what to say, people are super rich and you find majority of people struggling to make a living. This gap should be somehow brought close. This should not be a law. But I think it will come. There will be something to make this happen because, as I told you, human beings will not allow this to go worse than what it is.
Yes, sir. I like this term, faith in humanity. And as you said, there are more good people in the world than the ones who are corrupt. Just 1 or 2% maybe are corrupt. The others all are really good. And we are really thankful that you enabled people and allow them to share the space in your house during the tsunami time, the doctors who came there, and they came out selflessly. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
It was not only me.
Many.
You could see people having nothing, trying to help his neighbor who had lost more than that. It was a really, what to say, it's a real learning. At that time, I was a little disgusted with people, the corruption going around. I thought, oh, these are just one person. On the whole, people are good. So, and they will change the others also. Always the majority will have an influence. That we call it good contagion. Right? This sort of good things, this contagion will affect them also. One day they'll also learn that just going crazy with always looking for profit and other things will change. Will change.
Yes.
At least we should have that hope.
You're sharing a lot of positive vibes on this platform. So that's very nice, bringing back faith in humanity. And so you're humble enough to say it's not only me, there were several others who had nothing, but they came out to help others and to build back, the loss that people face during the tsunami or maybe any disaster that people face. There are people who come out selflessly and share whatever little they have, maybe their time, their expertise, their services. Yes, sir.
I remember one, many celebrities came. But I remember one Hollywood actor, I forgot his name, but he came stayed there in a village near Kadalur and built houses for the people with all his wealth. Oh, wow, my memory is not. That actor, he was there for about, I think, about 3-4 months, building houses for people, leaving out all his busy schedule, just giving all his time and wealth for the people who lost their house in Kadalur. Maybe you will know that name.
Yeah. No, I'm going to research that because I have no information about it. I will definitely work on that. We will find out that, sir. Thanks to that wonderful Hollywood actor who has been doing that apart from
Bollywood, not Hollywood.
Bollywood. Okay, I heard it as, okay, Bollywood actor. Okay, fine. That's great. So that's so sweet. Thanks to all of them who came forward, and especially this one particular actor, as you've mentioned. Hopefully, I will try to. Is it like maybe if I could get his name, and even I can't get his name. It's there at the back of my mind, but I'm unable to get it now at that.
Incidentally, his father was also an actor. His father was also an actor. And, his name. Yes, but I'll try to.
Yeah,
before the interview is over, I'll get it back.
Yes, we both will work on it, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, beautiful sharing and a lot of positivity, sir, on this platform. I'm really so happy. Dear sir, now apart from all of the challenges that you faced, now slowly let's come back to happy memories maybe, or to your childhood. What type of a childhood you had? Were you the mischievous one? Were you very talkative? Were you shy? Did you like involve in creating a little mischief at school and at home too? All of that you have to share.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Luckily, I was born into a very loving family. And, yeah, I told you it was a joint family. So many aunties, uncles on both maternal side and the paternal side.
Any one incident like fresh in your mind as a youngster, or a fresh incident, it still is in your mind, like evergreen incident?
What would I say? I was very mischievous. I was very free and I couldn't be controlled at all. Even at the age of 10, 11, I used to travel on my own here and there. And I was a movie buff, always watching movies, going to the theaters, spending a lot of time. But one thing which was very, very distinct in my mind, when I was very young, 11 years, I used to love my grandmother, my mother's mother, very much. And I was brought from that village to Chennai for education. I wanted to see my grandmother very bad. Without informing my mother and father, I just traveled by train for about 330 kilometers. And my dad and mom, they were all worried. After reaching, and those days, calling each other through trunk calls, it was so difficult. They were so anxious. But I still believe that I was happy. I made everyone anxious. But being with my grandmother for that time, it was real fun for me. But anyway, now I can understand how much anxiety I caused for my dad and mom.
Yes, sir. Now it was the journey by train? By train?
Yeah, by train.
Now I could visualize that picture of a little boy sitting down there and traveling by train, happily sitting down, irrespective of not worried about what's going on in the minds of his parents or the people around him.
And in fact, when I landed in the railway station, from the railway station, my home was about 16 kilometers. I walked all the 16 because I didn't have money. And I didn't have money to eat or anything, just to purchase the ticket. Those days, the ticket was just 3 rupees or 3.5 rupees for a half ticket. They used to have this half ticket, 50% for children. Just 3 or 4 rupees for that long journey of 330 kilometers. Nothing else in my pocket. I didn't have anything to eat. That night I didn't have dinner. Morning I didn't have breakfast. And I walked 16 kilometers to my home just to be with my grandma.
What did you call your grandma? Was it Party or something?
We used to call our grandmothers Muma. Muma.
So when you
M,
reached there, yes, sir, please go ahead.
M.O.O.M.A. Mooma.
Mumma. Okay, that's so sweet. When you went there, what did she say? Was she surprised? Did she hug you? What did she say?
She hugged me, but she was shocked, and she was calling her children and said, immediately go and contact my daughter. She'll be anxious. This fellow has come. And she was always so lovable. I've never seen a person loving people. She can't help seeing people go hungry. She used to even sell her jewels to donate money to the have-nots. Such a beautiful human she was. So I loved her, and I think she rubbed a lot on me. And she died when I was just about 13 years. But the time, it's still, that memory is fresh.
That's beautiful. I could just imagine you sitting with your grandma, with Muma there, and sharing the space. And then did she give you to eat after that?
Oh, immediately, yes. Whenever I'm there, everything was special for me. I was treated like a prince.
Wow.
Very special. At least I felt there I was prince. Anything I wanted was there. And she took care of me. And my dad came to collect me. She was begging with my dad, please don't beat him. And he also, by that time, is cooled down. And I told him I will stay in the village and be with my grandma and study. He said, okay, come, your mother's anxious now. You come back, stay with her, and then you can go back and stay with her. And that's how. But ultimately, I was studying in Chennai.
That's really nice. Thank you for sharing that beautiful incident, sir. That's really nice. And friends, the love that we receive from our grandparents is really a pure one. Maybe our parents may be a little angry or aggressive, but our grandparents take a lot of, the time and energy to give us all that love. And
most grandparents are like that.
Yes.
They will give everything for the grandchildren.
Very
few I've seen. Grandparents are such a treasure for the grandchildren because they value the grandchildren to be the most valuable. It's in every culture you can see. When I was in Africa, I saw that. When I was in Middle East, I saw that. This culture is uniform.
Yes, that's really nice. And may her soul rest in peace as we've remembered her today, Muma. May her soul rest in peace. Yes, dear. And she'll really be happy that you've remembered her today if she's above in heaven, wherever she is.
I should thank you. You are making me come out with all these beautiful memories. Now and then I do keep digesting all this, but you have a way of bringing out all these emotions. Thank you so much for bringing all these memories.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for being so kind and sharing your time. Dear sir, would you like to share your journey now in Africa? Like when you put your foot first down in Africa, when you got the job, how did you feel? Did you miss India? And how was the transition period? I would like to know that.
It was quite difficult, because I was a businessman running a pharmaceutical market. I had a lot of people to work for me. And now I had to go and work in a foreign country. I was a little sad. I've come to this. But once I started teaching there, it was a beautiful experience. Right from that day one to the last day, I didn't want to come back also. And they didn't want to leave me also. But my wife was all alone here and she couldn't adjust to that climate there. It's very cold. It was in the morning top. And she had some commitments here with the grandchildren also. I had to come back to share the few days we are going to live together. So I had but it was a beautiful experience because the people there, they were so simple, very hospitable. And one thing, though it was a poor country, government was taking care of everything. You would be surprised to know that education was free You can become a doctor, you can become an engineer, you can become anything you want. Only thing is to work hard and make score those marks to be deserving. That's all. Nothing else. It's all education was residential. It was a small country. It had only one medical college, one law college, one the university, only one university, Asmara University. Just engineering colleges you had two, five, one arts colleges. But everything was free and everything residential. There is no day scholar concept at all. Food was provided. Only the dress, even the books were given by that. Most of it were digital. They were so poor and backward in everything else. But when it came to education, they had no compromise at all. We had a digital library, we had a big library, we had beautiful labs. It's unbelievable. It is comparatively, it was a very poor country and even technologically backward. You'd be shocked to know that till I left in 2021, there was no ATM. You have to go and collect your money from the bank. Technologically, it was so, even the internet connection was not so good. But when it came to education, there was no competition. And the marginalized people were provided food at a low cost in the ration shop. Medical facility, though it was not of high standards, you cannot compare to the standards we have here, but it was all free for all, for all. That was beautiful. But it was a war-ravaged country because they had been under Italians for some time, and then the British, and then Ethiopia had colonized. Only in 1992 they got there. It's quite a young country to take nations. But now they are doing the right things. But unfortunately, the political system is still under a sort of military dictatorship. It's not a democracy. That is a little painful. But sometimes I think it's not how people are ruled. It is the intention. If the people are given everything, why do you discriminate between that rule or this rule? Ultimately, the people have to be happy and they have to be provided. One day, I think they will come up truly, because such lovely people cannot go on with this pain forever. I have lots of hopes for them. Sure, one day they are going to be a beautiful country. They are going to be an example for so many other African countries, which are again ravaged by war.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for sharing all of that. Thank you very much. You took us on a beautiful journey over there. But I'd like to know about the food. How were you able to adjust with the food? Like, was it Indian food, or you had to adjust with the food that was served over there, or the food
their food was quite different, but you could get everything. All the vegetables were available. All our pulses were there. So I could cook for myself. When my wife was there with me, she trained a maid to cook all the Indian food. Before she left, she had cooked, and I used to cook for myself. I love to cook for myself most of, because I'm basically a meat eater. So I cook my own food. But food was never a problem. Even their food, though initially I couldn't go on with it, but later on you start enjoying that also. But everything was available. We used to cook our own.
Yes. Now, sir, you were the head of the English department.
Yeah.
So I would like to know now which book or what book fell on your eyes, or what book caught your eyes and attention that, yes, this book is really an interesting one. Apart from all the other books, which book do you prioritize? Which author do you prioritize and would like to suggest for us?
I was always a lover of Shakespeare, but Shakespeare has a lot to teach us. But my favorite
while teaching was this Animal Farm and 1984. These were two novels which I was teaching. Really made me think about the whole world, the political system, how a few can be manipulative and control the large majority of people. And that both 1984 and Animal Farm brings out the beautiful. So I loved those two while teaching. Of course, Shakespeare was such a pleasure to teach. The children also used to enjoy. And I loved teaching Shakespeare also. But these two books, I really relish, and even now, and it is very relevant to the present day, how people are controlled by a few selfish minds are controlling the whole world. But as I told you, these things will change. Things will develop.
Yes, thank you for being so positive and bringing back hope in all our hearts, because we are all scared about the future. When is the Third World War going to begin? But you say that, yes, there will be a beautiful future ahead and the war will stop and maybe everything will be very fine for all of us. I love the positivity.